Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be discussing EDC utility knives, and I have two different classifications. You have the mini ones, like the ones you see here, and then you have a full-size utility knives. We're not going to go through all these, but I will give you my top three out of these mini ones. I usually carry these in my EDC pouches, and I use these in a pinch whenever I really need them, if I don't want to destroy the blade that's in my pocket, or if I'm cutting something nasty. So my top three when it comes to all these, at number three, the ZAYYD store Ultem utility knife. Comes with this nice leather slip, and I like this one because it's super lightweight. Made of Ultem. You can get it in the black or the amber Ultem. Press this little button. It is two-hand deployment, and it locks into place. You know, if you need to break open a quick package, or if you had to cut a box open or something, this one could do that. Or if you need to scrape something and it's lightweight, discreet, and you don't even realize it's there. Push the button and push it back in. You can slap it in the leather pouch. Nice leather pouch. Number two, we have the Big Idea Design TPT slide, all titanium frame. It has a pry end on this side, a 1/4-inch bit holder, tie pocket clip. And you push this down. It is one-hand deployment. Push this down and you got your blade out, and use it, put it back, you're good to go. Only reason this one isn't in the number one spot is because it is a little bit difficult to change the blade in and out. You got to like push this forward, twist the blade. Once you get the hang of it, it's not so bad, but that's why it's not number one. And my all-time favorite is the ZAYYD Designs TiRant Razor M 3.0. This is made in the USA. That's a huge plus. It accepts my favorite types of blades, and you can get this particular one is going to run you $78 because it has the pocket clip, or if you don't care about the pocket clip, you can get it for $70. Why this one's so cool? You have one-hand deployment and very lightweight nature. You got a lanyard hole, a little flathead pry in on this side, and these black pieces right here are 4 different magnets. And just listen to the sound this makes. You just push the blade down, slide it forward, locks into the first position right here, and those magnets are what's holding it in. And then you got one more position right here. That's your longest. You can see USA right there. They got several different anodization colors. This one is in the bronze. Very nice anode work. And I can get like a 3.5 finger grip. If I wanted to put a lanyard on there, I could probably get a better grip. But this is something, you break into a box or something like that, cut something really quick, and just a well-made tool. You can see how it's in that little slot. You push this down, and then it's out of that slot. It's back in the slot right there. Magnets holding it from dropping down, so it stays pushed up against that slot. Only negative that I can see with this so far, and it's just a nitpick, is being that you have magnets, it may attract metal filings and shavings, anything around, or stick to some of your metal objects. Now let's get into some of the full-size ones. We have 6 in total. We're going to go 6 on down to my number one favorite. So number 6, we have the Serge Knives Slipjoint Razor. And the name right there probably tells you why this one's at number 6. This is a slip joint. It does have a half stop. But being that's a slip joint and it has a very sharp razor blade on it, that's why this one is in the 6th spot. Plus, these aren't the easiest to find, and this is one that you have to take this plate off completely to change the blade out, so it's not a quick change, and that's a bummer for this one. It didn't come with a deep carry clip. I added that, but I like the overall aesthetics of it, and as long as you're careful, you should be fine. I do a lot of it in a pinch grip like that, to break into something or things like that. I do like how you have a lot of blade exposed. I did testing with all these that I'm showing y'all, and I'll try to pop some of that footage up on the screen, but this one performed nicely, and like I said, you got a lot more edge than you do on some of your other smaller utility knives. And this little portion right here didn't get hung up as much as I thought it would. You can choke back like this, put your thumb here, and then put your finger here. So, you got some guard there so it doesn't come down on your finger. And like I said, I like that it has a half stop. These are pricey for what they are. I can't remember offhand if I do find the price of the V1s. I will put it up on the screen, but if I didn't, I couldn't find it. So that is a Serge Knife Co. Slip Joint Razor. Number 5, we had the Outdoor Edge BOA, and this one had a lot of potential to be high up there. You have FRN contoured scales. You have a tip-up pocket clip, back lock on this one. Nice smooth action. You have a nice thumb stud action right here. Comfortable too. It fills out the hand nice. This little spot's nice. You can also come up here to get some down pressure. And it has a quick change blade. You slide this up like this and you can swap the blade out. It locks in place nice. This thing's only going to run you $13, but the only reason it's not any higher on this list is because of the quick change placement right here. I've had several times where I was cutting into something or doing a pull cut and the material got underneath there and pushed this up, releasing the blade into what I was cutting. Luckily, it stayed in there. So I wish this button would have been somehow spring-loaded in that direction. So, you know, slicing or anything like that, you don't have to worry about it as much, or at least spring-loaded in this direction, one of the two. It just, it would have been a lot better design. Overall, I still use it a good bit, you know, especially whenever I'm just cutting a box, breaking open a box, something like that. It's a good one. I keep it in my garage at all times because it has FRN. And so far, I don't think I've had any rusting on the bead blasted frame. I was kind of worried about that. Good jimping though, nice texture on this portion, this portion, this portion. So number 4 is probably the most fidgety. This is coming from Tops Home on Amazon, and this is a utility out the front. You heard me right. You have an aluminum frame, pocket clip, this little carbon fiber, I don't know if that's a sticker or not, inlay right here, and check it out. You just slide it forward. You have a little spot to rest your thumb. And these come in at $47, and they have several different variations of this. I've seen them from other brands, and they got some with some milling on here instead of the carbon fiber. At the time, this was the only one I could find. Now, the handle is comfortable, fills out the hand nicely, and it performed fairly well. You don't have as much blade sticking out as, say, the Serge knives blade, but you can still get a lot of work done with this. And I didn't find it getting hung up too much because this is fairly thin and I was able to pass through most of the stuff. Now, there are 2 reasons why this one didn't make it higher on my top 6 list of these. Is it doesn't take my favorite blades, these SK5 blades. It's just a little bit different. It won't lock them into place for some reason. It's held in with like a detent system here that pushes it into a groove, I'm sure, up here. And the other thing is this thing came off the track once, so I had to unscrew it and push all the springs back into place, and I had to lube it up a little bit better, and I haven't had that issue again. But definitely fun, definitely cool, especially for the price point. You know, is it the most practical? You know, that's up to you to decide. But like I said, that wide handle fills out the hand nice, and it is rather comfortable. And I didn't have any issues cutting any of the stuff I cut with this. These last 3 I carry most often, and I will have links to all the knives in this video down in the description. Some of them are affiliate links. If you want to help support what I do here on this channel, that is one way to do so. So number 3, we have coming from NuKnives. This is the Kumpanter utility knife. I reviewed their knife, their regular knife on Amazon, and it's the same frame. And I like a lot about this knife. Only reason this one didn't make it higher on this list is because it's not a quick change blade. It has this little screw thing here that you unscrew, but that doesn't allow you to pull the blade out. You still have to unscrew this plate to pull the plate up to remove the blade. Now, I already saw on Amazon, I think, and I don't know if they stole their design or it's the same company making them or something, but they made it to where it's one-handed. They had the same little dial right here, and the thumb stud is right here, and I think you press the thumb stud down and it slides the blade out. That would have been awesome because I love this utility knife. This one's in brass, and I don't remember the price tag. These are a Kickstarter campaign. I don't know if it's still going on or not, but if it's not going on, I'm sure these will be on Amazon after the fulfillment of that Kickstarter. It is a front flipper design as well that works okay. The thumb studs work pretty good, but they are a little slick. But for the price, I think this is a very, very nice one. You got a deep carry clip. Now it is tip up, left or right handed carry. You can see the little slot right there. The G10 one is probably my favorite because it's a lot lighter than this heavier, chunkier brass. And I was having problems with this disc coming loose on this one. Not on this one though for some reason, but it was coming loose on this one. So I added my own screw right there so that wouldn't happen again. And I haven't had any issues at all. As you can see, it takes my Linux carbide blades that I like, and this one gives you that full edge like on the Serge Slipjoint razor, and I loved it. This thing performed excellent. I use both of these quite often. One of these stays in a little EDC valet tray somewhere in the kitchen so my wife can grab if she wants. I like it has a little choke up spot there. It's a nice solid liner lock. And it's on bearings as well. Smooth action. And my wife enjoys using this one the most as well. She's learned how to open and close it rather easily. So hopefully, like I said, these hit Amazon and you're just able to buy them just like the folder. I'm pretty sure they will because I think the folder was also a Kickstarter campaign and then they went to Amazon with the rest of the knives. And number 2, we have the Big Idea Design TiRant Utility Knife. And the only reason this one's in the number 2, because this one and the number 1 could both be tied for number 1, but this one is a pricey utility knife. Now, in my opinion, it's kind of justified because of how overbuilt this thing is. It's all titanium pocket clip, somewhat deep carry, and it's got a very, very smooth action. Even though this is super lightweight, I can almost shake it all the way down easily. It's got bearings in there. Easy to flip that. Nice texture on that flipper. Very, very nice flip. And it's nice and comfortable. You have a good bit of edge exposed. The blade change on this one's pretty dang easy because you have this, you just push this tab over. Slide the blade out. Sorry, I had to wipe the oil off this blade. Now, it is a little bit tougher. That's another thing. It is a little bit tougher to put the blade back in because you have to push this over that way enough to be able to get past the little notch and push that blade in. But once you get it in, you do have that same amount of edge to use. This thing is, like I said, one of the most solid, robust EDC utility knives that I have. And as you can see, it only has a pivot screw. You don't have a body screw on the show side scale. It's being held together by the clip screw. This is a little plate goes here, and there's a little notch on both sides of these scales that this sits in. It sandwiches all together. Very cool design. If you want to see how that works a little bit better, go check out my review of the Big Idea Design TiRant folding knife. I show it there. But love this one. Now let's check out the number 1. In the number 1 spot, we have another one coming from Exceed Designs, and this is the TiRant Razor V3. I had the V1 and V2 because I loved it that much. You can get them with this milling. This is a specialty one that's going to run you a little bit more money with the milling and this beautiful anodization. But you can get one with all stone-washed titanium for $85, so much cheaper than the Big Idea Design utility knife. This one, it was a special one with the black hardware, black pocket clip, and black blade carrier right here. And that's the blade that came with it. This one has kind of a similar way to remove the blade. This little tab right here, let's see if I can show you this. You push it and it slides this that way, and you can pull, you can adjust the blade, take it out, flip it around. Or if you don't want to do that, you could always unscrew it, pull the plate off. This is a titanium frame lock with a hardened insert. These things are super, super smooth, especially once they break in. They flip very, very nice. And that's what kind of made me fall in love with this originally. It has that look of a regular pocket knife. And when I flipped it for the first time, I was in awe. And then you have this flat spot right here that you can get up like that on it. This thing performed really, really well whenever I was doing just the random task. I was just trying to see how it felt while doing different things. Want to make sure the blade wasn't going to come out of the holder when doing certain things. I did some hard pressure cutting, and I wanted to make sure the locks weren't going to fail. And all these ones that were on this list did excellent. Even the Outdoor Edge one that is number 5 on this list. They are all nice. You're going to be happy with just about, any one of them on this list. And yeah, I know that the Milwaukee Fastback can do the same thing, and it does it well. I do love their blade swap little button right here and that smooth action. This is an awesome tool, but I'm not carrying this every day, unless, I was going to work every day for, somewhere where I needed a junker that I wasn't worried about losing, messing up, somebody stealing it. Then yeah, this is the way I would go. But when you're wanting a nice premium EDC tool, then these are the ones I would go with. This one's not super premium. This is kind of like a Milwaukee Fastback level, but I just had to put it on this list because I do like it for certain things. The Exceed Designs TiRant Razor V3, awesome. I pair it up with this guy sometimes. This one usually goes in my EDC pouch and this one in the pocket, but both of them are outstanding products. They are, my favorites at the moment for that reason. And there you have it, folks. These are my favorite EDC utility knives. Each one of these has their strengths and unique features, so it's essential you consider your specific needs and preferences. Whether you prioritize the design, versatility, or cost, or additional features, there's a utility knife that will suit you perfectly. You may be saying, I'm just going to stick with my Milwaukee Fastback, and that's fine. Thank you for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to drop a like on it. And if you're not already subscribed, hit the subscribe button if you enjoy this and you want to see more content like this. I hope everybody's having an absolute amazing day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.